Alright everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Still have no idea what I'm going to call this channel, but back to working on the Miata. Where we left off the last time was welding on the rocker panel. That was all welded on last weekend and everything. And we had mounted the quarter panel, put a self-tapper in every hole, or every spot where there's going to be a spot weld. Again, I'm going to show you the method that I used for the rocker. It's kind of a learning process because I've never done this method before. Obviously, when working at a body shop, the body shop had a spot welder. Didn't have to do all this dance between drilling holes and spot welds and everything else. It was more so just a clamp, resistance weld, done. So don't have that luxury here, so we're gonna have to make do with what we got. So without further ado, we'll get started. So the first part I'm going to start on is actually going to be the tail lamp pocket. Now the reason being is because I have all of these in here. They're going to need to be welded before I can mount a tail light. Now this bottom part, well, I can't really do it without, oh, maybe it does. Yeah, you could actually see down there a little bit. It has some form of adjustability. I can move this and move that. And since this back end was in an accident, I want to make sure everything's aligned properly when I put in a tail light with the finished panel and make sure that lines up properly. It's just such a weird little area. But I can tell you that measuring everything with the tape measure and micrometer, everything looks okay. But yeah, I just want to be sure before I commit to everything else. And with welds here, I'll still be able to move this bottom portion a little bit and then tack it into place and do what I got to do. So yeah, let's get to it. I also forgot to mention, I upgraded here. I reviewed some of the last footage and saw that this chair was blocking the way for about half the time where I was doing my work on fitting everything up. So I bought a tripod. Now with the tripod I can kind of put the camera anywhere and not limited to pretty much just my toolbox. So hopefully it will show what's going on a little bit better, and yeah, you can see the process a little bit better. So yeah, again, let's get into it. All right, so, oh, let me get a frame here. Quarter panel's off. Why? Missing something? Weld through primer. A little upset about that, but yeah, let's put it on so that I can actually weld this thing on now. Alright, so after that blunder, we got everything back on here. You can see that I've already started pre-drilling some of these holes for the welds and taking out approximately every other screw. Now the cool part is obviously since I drilled all these holes and have all these screws in here, even though I had to take it off, I know it's in the same spot because every single hole lines up to where it was before. So I got that going for me, even though that kind of sucked. It is what it is. I was just kind of tired yesterday, or not yesterday, geez, that was last weekend. I was just kind of tired, want to get this stuff done, want to get a good stopping point, and then, yeah. I rushed it, so hey, now we're back to where we were before, and ready to start welding. So I will get to that, and I will start showing you guys the process here. It's pretty much just like the rocker, and yeah, but I'll show you again, just because some people are just going to watch the rocker video, some people are going to watch just the quarter panel video. I could link the one to the other, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Alrighty, well that looks like shit. Let me see if I can. It's a little better. Back it up. Whoa! Alright, so I'm not sure how much this is going to show here. I'm going to do my best to show it, but you can see here we've got our holes drilled. We are using a 1/4-inch drill bit. So this is obviously drilled through both layers of metal, but it's only a number 8, so it's really, really small. We drill out the first layer to be a 1/4 inch, and then the layer behind it will just have that tiny hole from the screw, the self tapper, whatever you want to call it. Then from there, all we got to do in order to combine these two pieces of metal is just take our welding gun, take the tip, and just go around in a circle and fill it up. And then they'll be stronger than a resistance weld. So I'm going to back up the camera right now and do one of those, or 2 of those, we'll see. Don't know if the welder is set up perfectly for this, but I will try it out here. And if I screw up, I screw up. But if I don't, then yeah, we'll see what happens. Wow, this is clogged. Pretty good. All right, try it out here. Okay, so, ouch. I'll move you back in closer here. But you can tell I missed a little bit on the side here, which is no problem. I just gotta fill it a little bit. But you can see, I'm not gonna touch it because it's obviously hot. If I bring it over to the side here, that weld is very, very, very flat. Which is nice, because that means I have very minimal grinding to do, if any at all, in order to get a weather strip to fit over this and for it to be a weather tight seal. So, yeah, I'm gonna continue to do this along the entirety of the panel, and I'll time lapse it, and maybe it'll be enjoyable to watch. So let's see. Alright, so the camera died when I got probably around here, but we are all welded up down there too, all the way across, over, and all that. As well as there's a few down here. They're not pretty, but they get the job done and they're definitely attached. So, moral of the story, what the heck did I do? I did the method I showed you guys across the whole panel. These are my settings on my welder. I have a Hobart 140 handler, 110, so I'm pretty, 115 volt. Plugged in a normal 110 volt outlet. 2 and roughly about 30. So from there, I just kind of went across and did everything I needed to do. Now you can tell a lot of these welds, there's a couple that are not perfect, like this one. This one sticks out a little bit, but most of these welds are not going to need too much grinding, which is really, really cool. I'm really excited for. Most of these welds you also won't see because they're going to be seam sewed. Like you'll see these will be underneath a trim piece. These will be underneath a weather strip. You'll see these, so these need to be ground down. But yeah, so pretty exciting. Didn't do anything around here because I do have a wide body kit that I am going to install. But normally there would be welds that go all along here as well, all the way down and around. So probably gonna have to do these few over here, but since I'm gonna have to cut some of this off and then cut the inner wheelhouse and then bend it up on the quarter so I can fit bigger wheels, then I'm not gonna weld it. Why would I weld it? Waste that time dressing those welds and doing everything else. So, but I will be continue to make videos. I'm not going to make a video of me running all these welds. I might just make a couple time warps. What the hell? What do you call them? Time lapse. There we go. Might make a couple time lapses. Might post them as like a short or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Other than that, the major panels are welded on, which is awesome. Never thought I was going to be able to do this. Never thought I was going to have time or the money or the tools to do this, but I also got, maybe I'll put up a picture here shortly, but I got a message on my phone saying I had a memory, and 7 years ago is when I finished up doing the patch panels, and instead now I have the money and the time to be able to put a complete OEM rockers and quarters on, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, again, if anyone's got any questions, just ask. It was definitely a pretty difficult process, pretty long process, but at the end of the day, I think it's gonna be worth it as long as it doesn't rust. Hopefully that's the case. But hey, you know what? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys following along for this. If there's anybody listening, this might get no views. This might get 100 views. Who knows? This might get 1,000 views. Crazy. But yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody just watching, and if you learned something, then drop a like, maybe consider subscribing. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just doing this for me, just doing it for fun. So if you enjoyed it, maybe share it. There's a bell somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I hear that's something you got to click too. I don't know. But hey, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll leave you off with this. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, and we'll see you next time.